Okay, as always, I gotta check and make sure I'm on live. I'm on early. It's 10:30 a.m. in the morning Central Time. Um, okay, I'm on live. I see it. Hi, my name is Chris. Thank you, people, for YouTube for showing up to my video or live whenever you're here. I am on a road to 399 pounds where I come on every single day with a video until I reach 399 pounds. So I'm on my journey. I was supposed to be fasting at least 72 to 96 hours, but my mom brought over some strong ibuprofen. So I figure I have to break my fast if I'm gonna take that. And I'm gonna be taking ibuprofen while my tooth is healing because the pain is on and off. It's not intense pain, but there is some pain, so I'm just gonna take the ibuprofen. And so I will be eating. So I did order some oatmeal from McDonald's. I probably should just order some oatmeal from the store and make it myself, but I'm lazy. So I ordered some oatmeal from McDonald's. That should be easy while my tooth is healing. But let me tell you, I am done with DoorDash people. Sometimes the DoorDash people are cool. They get to the building, they know where you at, and they'll drop your food off at the door where they're supposed to be drop it off at, and knock on your door and leave. This DoorDash person just left my stuff out in a not even in the lobby, but outside of the apartment door where anybody could grab it. And I'm giving you a $6 tip. Now, I know a $6 tip is not a lot during these day and age. That's probably just an average tip. But I know a DoorDasher personally, and he told me that he was over the moon when he see people give him $5. People are usually giving like $2 to $3 tips to these dashers. Me, my stuff is just a small oatmeal from McDonald's where you can go through the drive-thru to pick it up, and you can't at least give me a call and say, hey, can't I leave your food downstairs by this table? You just dropped it off at that table and dished. Like, I had to figure out where the food was. I'm like, oh, okay, they put it on the table right down there. But like, okay. Not only am I upset as a customer, but I'm upset as a person who I used to drop people food off before the COVID times, mind you. There go my tooth hurting. Before the COVID times, I used to drop people food off, and I would drop it off in their hands. Even when I was like struggling, I used to have bad back pain. I would walk up 3 flights of stairs to bring somebody their food. One time I was driving somebody food and I didn't have the drink secure enough, and it spilled over my car. I drove back to the restaurant. Instead of saying, oh, they didn't give you your drink and lie, I went back to the restaurant and got them another drink. So I know the job. I know how difficult it can be on your car. I looked outside of the person. They probably was driving a very expensive car. I had to put a lot of gas in their car. $6 is not a lot of money. But for me, it is a lot of money when I'm not ordering a lot. The restaurant is not too far from my place, so it's not like you're driving millions of miles to bring me my food. The McDonald's is probably like less than a mile away. The least you can do, I could go downstairs and get the food, don't get me wrong. You don't have to come all the way up here. But the least you could do is let me know your food is here and I'm going to drop it off outside. Is that okay? And I would have said, no, that's not okay. Can you put it closer to the door, not closer outside where anybody can grab it? So I am playing with these dashers. I called DoorDash and I was like, look, I need half my tip. I should have said the full tip, but I said, I need half my tip back. And they gave it to me. Look, I should have said no to these raisins. I can't eat that. I might can eat these apples. but I can't eat the raisins. Because the apples look very soft. So I'm gonna be eating this. But I'm not angry at the person. I can understand why they don't want to go all the way upstairs. It's hot outside. It's humid. I understand that. But as me personally having done that type of work before, and knowing what I personally would do if I didn't want to go upstairs, I would say, "Hey, I have your food down here. Um, do I need to bring it up because the parking is bad, or can you come down and pick it up, or whatever?" But if you ain't giving me that level of service, because when you go to a restaurant, you can raise your hand, ask for things to the waitress. You can tell them, "Hey, this is not good for me," or "Can you bring me a spoon? Can you bring me extra water?" Like, when you tip them, they give you service. DoorDash people, all they do is they just go and get your food and just drop it off. And if they offer you service, like, "Hey, I'm giving you some extra napkins," or like if they offer you service, then you should be able to tip them more. I think that option should be available on DoorDash. I think it's available on one of the other apps, where you tip afterwards or you tip more or whatever. But on DoorDash, you tip in advance, so you don't know what type of service you're gonna get, and they don't know what type of. And it makes sense you tip in advance because they can decide whether or not they want to pick up the order, because somebody can not tip you, but then we can untip you too. They don't realize that we can't untip you, but we probably can up tip them too. I never thought about that. But like I said, I'm trying to get away from these services anyway. But after I start taking that ibuprofen, I realized it's probably not a good idea to be fasting. So I am. Let me get my phone. Where is my phone? I don't know where I put my phone. Oh, here we go. About to break my fast. I wasn't trying to break my fast, but now I'm taking this ibuprofen, and I read that it's probably a good idea to eat while your tooth is healing. That I'll probably just fast 24 hours. Plus, I had one of those, and I'm not even like 72 hours into my fast. Just goes to show my body is just acting up. I'm 39 hours into my fast, or close to 39 hours into my fast. I'm about to end my fast at 39 hours and eat oatmeal. I'll talk about that. I'm just going to take a bite of my oatmeal. I'm going to have to rinse out my mouth after I eat. So I just got a diagnosis from my psychiatrist, which is PMDD, which is premenopausal, I think. Premenopausal dysphoria. Let me get the name. He was saying it. It says it is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That's what I have. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's basically the week or two before your period starts, you get these symptoms. And I've been telling him about these symptoms every single month. And then I really went in on it today, like during my period. Okay, my nurse had suggested that I do birth control to control my hormones. So there is that is one of the ways that you can control your hormones. Hey, Sassy K, how you doing? Hey, Miss Getchy. So I was just talking about let me get back to the screen so I can see myself talking. I was talking about thank you. My mom came in and combed out my wigs. Said I was looking crazy. So she combed out all my wigs. Well, they said I had PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So the symptoms I have, the weight gain that I've been having, the depression I've been having, all that stems from PMDD. And fasting is not when that's happening, it's not a good ideal. You're supposed to be eating certain types of foods to kind of regulate those emotions. So I might not be fasting during those times. Like, as you can tell, I can fast. I can fast my butt off. And then when right before the period hits, I crash and I get very depressed. I get very tired. Sashi, I was gonna catch your video. I saw the thumbnail and I said, okay, she made a video. I missed it. I don't know if it was a live stream you was on or a video that you did, but I was gonna watch it because I know it said something about fasting. So I don't know if you're fasting right now or not. Oh, that was a live. I missed it. I was on my psychiatrist's card. Oh, okay, yeah, you gotta take meds. Yeah, I fast when I have to take meds, but now that I'm taking ibuprofen, I broke my fast. I ain't trying to mess up my stomach. Already, like 40 hours, like 38 hours in, I already had an accident, the number 2 accident because of my fasting. I'm like, this usually happen at the 72-hour mark. What the heck? My pants all messed up. My tooth is hurting. Yeah, so I decided to eat. I'm trying my best. I can't eat much because I had my tooth out yesterday. So there's a socket up there. But I have some oatmeal. I put some apples in there. I probably shouldn't. I'm eating. Yeah, I'm being careful. But yeah, that PMDD, I hope that taking the birth control will help with the cycles that I've been going through for the last it's been going on forever, but I've been tracking it consistently for the last 6 months, the same cycle of doing well, being motivated, then crashing and feeling super depressed. Not even feeling super depressed, being super depressed. Because that feeling is, I don't even want to, I don't want to go through it this month. So if I have to get on birth control, I will. But like I said, a girl is not even sleeping with nobody for years. So that's, I don't know, it's personal, but like, why do I have to get on birth control? It's ridiculous. And then I was talking to my psychiatrist, and he was like, I was like, what if they overturn birth control? Because that's what they're trying to do over here in the United States. They already overturned Roe versus Wade. They're gonna try to make it against the law. They're gonna make it against the law to have abortions in states. I'm like, I keep talking about abortion, like, yeah, one thing about the Constitution is that I think it needs to be rewritten because people have evolved. Like at the point where now we have, and I think I wrote something about this in college. I honestly, I did very well in college. I had graduated like a 3.8 or something like that. And I wrote really good papers. And it was all about women in sports and men's sports. And I started talking about transsexuals in my paper. I didn't know anything about it at the time, but I'm like, there's men. Wait a minute, let me get my language right. Shit, I ain't trying to get canceled. I'm like, I don't get 100 subscribers. I don't want like 4 or 5 of y'all to cancel me if I start saying the wrong thing. There's women who went through the transition experience, who goes through that does sports, that does sports. Um, and the debate is, should trans women play in the same sports as women who were born biological. And I like, this is too much for me. First of all, I don't care because I don't watch sports, but I'm like, these debates weren't this wasn't a debate 50 years ago. This wasn't a debate this wasn't a debate in my dead time. This is our generation's debate. And I like, we have so many things going on. Like, the world is changing so fast, and the Constitution is old as hell. That's what my point is. The Constitution is old. A new Constitution needs to be written. And I don't know if sports should be part of Constitution or not, but okay, we're gonna make sure I'm eating on the right side. But I have no say in whether trans women should be in women's sports or men's sports, or men jail or women jail. I have no say in any of that. I can try to form an opinion, but it'll be ignorant because I don't know anything about that. I will be coming from a place of ignorance, and I've came from a place of ignorance before when it came to topics such as transgender. Because, like I said, I was talking about yesterday, I didn't know what transgender was until I got way older. Because I lived in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, people weren't openly gay. When people were openly gay in New York and California and stuff like that, in Wisconsin, everybody just was on a DL. Nobody would admit that they were gay. It was something to be looked down upon. And I was for gay rights, but but it was still kind of a culture shock for me going from Wisconsin and then visiting New York and actually seeing people in the early 2000s be openly gay. And I was just like, wow, people openly gay up in, in New York. I need to move over here. But then again, Wisconsin, where I'm from in Wisconsin, is segregated too, where we know black people live on one side of the town, white people live on another side of the town. Go further down, that's where the Mexicans stay. Honestly, I don't even know if we even have we have Hmong, though I think the Hmong people is on the south side. Uh, and then the more diverse people, like if you want to see black, Asians, Indians, and stuff, you have to go on the east side. But we all knew everything was segregated in spots where I lived. So, like in the 90s, if we were to see white people on the north side, it'd be like, what are white people doing on the north side? I mean, like, so that's the type of place that I lived. Hi, Tabula. So, seeing people openly out there, it didn't start happening until like mid 2000, like 2005, 2000, like 2005, 2010. I started seeing like there was a lesbian couple at my job that I worked at back in like 2005. That still was shocking because people would be like, oh, there's lesbian, no, blah, blah, blah. Sure. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I was watching this thing where this guy, I don't know what his YouTube channel was, but he was talking about, he used Dave Chappelle's name as clickbait, talking about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle predicted Roe versus Wade. He did. So I clicked on it and it was clickbait. He misinterpreted everything Dave Chappelle was saying to get to his point where he just started talking about LGBT. He wasn't trying to talk about the LGBTQ community, but it came off like he was being very negative to that group of people. And then he went on to talk about how Dave Chappelle just predicted this and blah 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 to get views. Yeah, he got over 1 million views already, and it's probably gonna keep going up because he got Dave Chappelle's name in the comments. And I was reading through the comments and just seeing like what people had to think, because I'm like, a lot of people were supporting his views. It was mostly men supporting his views because basically David Chappelle's thing is like, I agree, I'm pro-choice. I'm not pro-choice and I'm not pro-life. That's Dave Chappelle. He said, I agree that women should have full autonomy of their body. They should have full control over what they do with their body and make that decision. But then he said, I also think that men should make the decision whether they should support that child or not. Which I think that's a good argument. A good argument. Morally, if you have a child, you should support that child. But if a woman has a choice whether she should have a child or not, a man should have a choice whether he should support that child or not. Because if he didn't want that child, why should he have to support the child? So I'm not gonna say what I think because I'm a little bit out there. I have an idea of what should be done. But I was just looking to see what other people thought about that in the comments, and I'm just like, they were attacking people of the LGBTQ community in there, and they were saying a lot of horrible things about women, and women don't take responsibilities and all that. The comments were dirty. And you would think that those comments are coming from kids. not people who were born in the 80s. But I think these are grown adult men who actually feel this way. I ain't got nothing better to do too, because I was reading those comments. I wasn't feeling no kind of way. I was just curious to see what they thought. Like on some. I don't want to take me. I think if you life is so precious. Like I talk about. If I had a choice, is to want to be alive, I would rather be dead. That comes with my mental health, my mental issues. But people enjoy living life and want to have good life. Like life is very precious, and people don't take it seriously. We have multiple babies being unsupported, several deadbeat dads not in the house, women. I don't know if y'all saw. Let me see if I can pull this video up. Let me see if I can pull up a video up for you guys to see. Let me just make sure. Let me get out of this stuff right here. I want to see if I could pull up that video. If I can. What the heck? Okay, let's see. I saw this video, and it happened in Milwaukee. Okay, this is where I'm from. It happened in Milwaukee. This video I'm about to pull up. What is it? What is the hell is that? Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can show my screen. Here we go. Okay. I won't be able to see comments, but I'll show y'all this video, y'all. It's
Look, y'all. Every fucking day my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even.
Let me explain it. So basically, what's going on? I don't know if y'all can see. Let me get to the. Let me get to my screen, so I think y'all can see it. So basically, what's going on is she has 4 kids, and she had 1 kid by the guy that's about to come on screen. And he only buys food for 1 kid because it's his kid. So here we go.
I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just 1 burger? 1 burger, 1 fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
Okay, but them your kids' siblings though.
What are you talking about? What are you mad about?
Them your kids' siblings though.
So what you?
My other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the 7.
Lisa, how is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Lisa,
them are his siblings
Lisa,
though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings, and they're not eating on McDonald's. Why do I gotta put?
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him eat
No, he's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough.
This this is my problem is. He said, "Let me just spend time with my son in the car and let him eat the food in the car, so that way the other kids won't feel left out." But she's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that."
For everybody.
Lisa, so you telling me that I bring my son food? I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound f***ing dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
So
you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine. What
Yeah,
do I look like?
they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, the f- I did.
Yes, you did.
Well, this is where I disagree with everybody in the comments. She has a point. Not that he needed to bring the food, but that he knew what he was getting into when he had a baby with her, because she had already had kids by other men. Now he goes in and now he's another baby daddy. I'm like, I agree with her on that, but he shouldn't have to bring food for all those kids. Well, basically, this just goes on and on. Y'all can watch it, the whole thing. It's ridiculous. Well, it's like, okay, so basically after that, she just goes on and tells him, she goes on to tell him the same thing. You need to pay for my kids, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, my dad said he would bring kids. He would bring bring food for all the kids. He would have brought food for everybody. And he would have brought the most unhealthiest food too. He said I would bring food. Yeah, you're gonna bring McDonald's and a whole bunch of more unhealthy food as well. But he would have brought food and made everybody fat. But I Hi Melissa, how you doing? So I was just showing the video. Oh, did you see that, Sasha, before? Yeah, this actually happened in my hometown. I'm so embarrassed. And the truth of the matter is, what my point of the matter is, somebody had said a comment that men shouldn't have to pay into women being irresponsible for their children for the state taxes. They shouldn't have to pay state taxes, whatever, and that money shouldn't go towards women who were irresponsible. Like, she is an irresponsible woman. She had men buy multiple women. I don't know if she had how many baby daddies she had, but she at least have 2 baby daddies. Only 4 kids. Only 1 baby daddy is taking responsibility for his child, and she has 3 other kids, and she's waiting on food stamps to pay to feed them. Now, we were poor. I know in Milwaukee, I don't know if they got it now, but when I said we were poor, but we weren't rocking with a lot of stuff too. We had food stamps growing up as well, but there's churches and places you can go to get dinner and breakfast and bring your kids so that they can eat. She needs to go to the food pantries or whatever is available to feed her kids. I don't know what type of job you can get if you have 4 small young children and nobody's taking care of them. You have to be around those kids 24 hours a day. Yeah, I saw that video. I was like, where is this, Milwaukee? No! I swear Milwaukee is just, I'm glad to get out of there. But still, I'm just like, that's crazy. When I watched that, I was just, and then she had the audacity to waste the food at the end. She gonna take the McDonald's and slam it down. This is where the man has to step in and say, you know what? My baby mama is unfit to take care of my son, I bring him food every day, and now she's refusing to feed him. She's not feeding him until she gets food stamps, and she doesn't have a job. I want full custody of my son because I feel like I'm going to be the most reliable parent. But in Wisconsin, they don't care. They're not going to give rights over to the man. Yeah, that was ridiculous. When I watched that, when I saw that on No Life Check's video, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta see what's going on with this one. That was crazy. But it does prove it goes to it gives a point to, not like she was seeking to have an abortion with her kids, but it does prove the point that uh men aren't being held accountable for their children, regardless if there's child support enacted or not, and that men should sign their parental rights over. But I honestly feel like men should be able to sign their parental rights over, but I don't know if we have 211. Like, I'm not in Wisconsin anymore, but I know there was food pantries that you can go to. There's the Agape Center where they serve meals every day. Like, I think it's like Monday through Friday. You can go in and get meals because that's what we used to do. There's churches. What's the other one? That big one is called. There's a lot of food pantries that she could go to. But if she has 4 children, this is what I'm thinking. She has 4 children. She's getting at least $1,000 worth of food stamps a month. How are you taking $1,000 running out of food if you're getting $1,000 worth of food stamps a month? That's what I want to know. Why are you running out of food stamps? What type of food are you buying? But the truth of the matter is, we have a lot of women of all races. I'm not going to even say just black women. All women, a lot of women who rely on state assistance for their children because the father is not present in their life. And I saw a comment. I don't even know if I can put a comment up here. One day I'll find a way to do it. Maybe I can try. Because I showed it, downloaded that comment. Uh, well, but this comment was basically saying that men shouldn't have to pay state taxes for women who are irresponsible. And I just like, there has to be a balance somewhere. I'm like, because the woman was irresponsible because she made bad choices in men, but the men that she made choices with are responsible too. So if they're working and they're not paying child support, at least they're paying some state taxes so she can get her food stamps on the 11th. So yeah, she needs to know how. I think this. How do you need to budget food stamps? Because the food stamps goes toward food. So the only thing reason why she probably losing her food stamps, in my opinion, is she's selling her food stamps on the market. Like, she's like, hey, because when back in the day, if you wanted to buy food stamps, all you gotta do is find somebody who's selling their food stamps. You can get $100 worth of food, and you just give them $50, and you use $100 worth of food stamps. So that's what we used to do. We used to find people. Like, okay, I ain't gonna say we. I never did anything like that. I ain't never bought no food stamps. I never said that. I never did it. When I talk about we, I'm talking about we, the people who of Milwaukee, not me personally. But yeah, people will sell their food stamps at a discounted price, and people will buy their food stamps from them. And in a sense, some people would go out and they'll take that money that they get from food stamps and they will go out and buy crack cocaine, weed with that. But sometimes people will take that money and buy like lick washing detergent and stuff that they can't get on food stamps. So they'll have, say they have $500 of food stamps, but they're willing to sell 200 of their food stamps so they can get household items like toilet paper, uh, dishwash detergent, whatever, so they could put it into their home. That's how bad it is. Like, then they came up with a system. I don't know if it's a system. I know my friend, she has like 6 kids. She was on some major government assistance, and she ended up having to take like these in Wisconsin or in Milwaukee anyway. She had to take these tests where she would have to like sign up for jobs or do like job hunting. She would have to look for work in order to continue to receive her benefits. But the jobs that she qualified for, of like the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. You may be making more money, but now you got to pay gas money to get to work. You got to find child care for your kids, and you might can get on some government assistance to get child care. But let me tell you, the type of child care you get on government assistance is crappy. So you're incentivized to stay in welfare system. You're incentivized to stay on welfare. So getting out of that is very difficult, but it's possible. Like me personally, I'm on disability right now. I'm incentivized to stay on disability and not work. But bitch, I'm not staying on no disability. As soon as my disability is over and I figure out the situation, I'm not staying on no disability, because you're not going anywhere on it. The only thing you're doing is staying afloat. But yeah, that's it. That's just my rant for today. Like, there's a lot of nuance when it comes to Roe versus Wade. The argument whether a man should be responsible to pay for his child or not. I was very interested in that. I still haven't come up with my own opinion. So, but I think a lot of people are using it for clickbait. I should make a clickbait video, put Dave Chappelle in. Dave Chappelle is a prophet. Take a couple clips of Dave Chappelle and give you 1 million views. Anyway. Alright guys, I'll let y'all go. I finished my oatmeal a while back, and I will see you tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna check out your video, Sashi. If you still here, I'm gonna check out your video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I did weigh myself. I'm not as big as I thought I was. I'm not gonna say my weight now, but I'm not as I didn't gain all my weight back. Let's put it that way. So, I'm gonna start doing weigh-ins again soon, live weigh-ins. Not sure when, but I will. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.